nice and clean. Shirt them clean. Wash them out and wash them out and make them clean. Them, wash them. Wash them out and make them clean. Shirt them clean. Mind it clean. Heart it clean. Shirt and pants and shoes it clean. Socks it clean. Boxers them clean. The ladies don't know, so them underwear clean. Clean. Wash it clean. See what me mean? Clean. Yeah. Responsibility, you know? Yeah, man. We can do it. We can do it. Be responsible. Yeah? Washing by hand, you know, it's not a novelty, you know. Before machines and all these inventions, that's how we kept it clean. And I personally like it this way. Woman always asks me, so why you want always wash your clothes? You know why? And my clothes, they're personal to me. I know every stain with upon them. Yeah? And if I don't know when them happen, when me I wash them, you can figure out when them happen. You see me? Personal, man. Personal. Listen, from ever since, you know, me's a person where I've never been like the conventional person. I mean, I set myself up as no standard for nothing. You know, there are many people who are personalities in the new era of internet personalities, you know? And so, people are just really showing you pieces of their reality. I love the Jamaican vloggers, them will do that. I love the American. I love the, because I watch Americans a lot, I watch a lot of, you know, people from Asia, you know, Japanese, Chinese, Thai, you know. So I learn a lot, you know, from the different cultures and different people sharing their information on the internet about their different ways of life and, you know, how we do common things. Like in Jamaica, we love to go to the river and wash by the river and hang out the clothes on the stones. As a matter of fact, we use the stones at the river not just to hang the clothes on, but sometimes we even use them in the process of washing. Like most native are, you know, the black or the aboriginal so-called African American in America. They have these boards that they rub on. And in Jamaica, we had similar things too, but we always have a little hand brush, you know. Just like how we have a brush that we use for the floor back in the parquet floor, because when I grew up, my house was, you know, the house was Wackland Dab, you know. We put no cement and we owned it to DIY because actually we did this ourselves, you know. But we had Wackland Dab. We have parquet floor, wooden floors, and we had to polish it with a red oak, and we had a brush made from bamboo. Sorry, a brush made from coconut, right? And so that we would cut the dry coconuts at the top, and you would get this nice, astringent brush that you could actually use to shine the floor so magnificently, you know what I mean? Literally, like shine up the floor. And one of the things about it I really respected about that was that it made it personal. Boy and girl, boys and girl had to get down on their knees and shine the floor. My sister is right over there right now, and she can tell you we had to get down and shine the floor. And every Christmas and, you know, spring, you know, Easter, the equinoxes and such, we would have to wash down the cabinet and, you know, all the crockery and the stuff that we couldn't use often, you know. Spring cleaning here, they call it out in the West. I guess they only do it sometimes in spring, you know, but all of that. Washing our clothes, right? I think we were like 7 years old, and my mother put the first set of clothes in a bucket of water and taught us to wash. And if the clothes weren't washed properly and we hung them on the line, she would take them off. But she started us out with our yard clothes, the clothes that we would wear in the yard on a regular basis. Yes, she would start us out with our yard clothes, the clothes we would work with in the yard on a regular basis. No man, the devil can't win, man. Him is a liar, we know that. So we always would learn to wash that. Then we had to graduate from that to being older and washing the clothes that we wear to school. And that's when the problem happened. Because if you wash your yard clothes and it wasn't so good, like it wasn't washed so well, then usually it's okay. Basically, when your school clothes never washed properly, that's when she would come and take it off the line and put it in the dirt. You have to go and wash it again. So you have to learn to do it good. So she always said, do it good from first. Because if you don't, you're going to have to do it over again. If you understand what I'm saying. So we learned to wash our clothes, to take care of the utensils, you know, to clean the house, to wash our sheets for our beds. We were doing that from age 12 full time. You know, we were cooking from age 10 full time. That's the first time I cooked, right? So what we know put to a machine, what we know put up to a specification, like if you go to school to do this, if you went to school to do that, we used to all do. All my sisters can chop wood, can carry wood, can go to the river, you know, and I can wash clothes and I can keep the kitchen clean, whatever, you know, a country kitchen, because the family is not just in the country. The family has other homes all over Jamaica. So we have every kind of lifestyle that we can think of, from the highest quality lifestyle to the simple lifestyle. But this is teaching about the efficacy of life, because a lot of people don't know that there's a personalness, a soul connection to when you do things in that intimate setting. When you don't put things in a dishwasher and allow them to machine wash. There's something you ate from that dish. You prepare the meal. But then a lot of people didn't prepare the meal. It's fast food, it's fast serve, it's laundromat, it's pre-done. But there was a time when we all did it and it wasn't too much. So when did our work lives take up so much of our actual lives? A lot of things have changed about life in general. People have outsourced life to the mechanism, to the machinery. And this industrialization of our human experiences is taking away the personal connection that creates the psychic entanglement, connection, the psychic bond to our experiences, something that we are losing in intellects, psychologists, you know, evolutionary biologists, these social scientists in all the different fields, and try to figure out why humans getting so much more bored, dejected, removed from the experience of life. Some is saying it's an increase in technology, but is it just an increase in technology? It's a change in the whole apparatus of the human interaction with the experience of life. You know, digitalization is one aspect. Yeah, many people think it's the weirdest thing. Let's talk in a material consciousness. I don't own a car. Many people think it's weird to wash their cars themselves. Yeah, to get, you know, the soap and all the right solvents that you need not to mess up your paint job on the outside, to know the right mix on the inside for your carpets, for your vinyl, for your leather surfaces, to know the right kind of wash to go inside your engine. It doesn't clog up your different technological stuff. Whether you have a electrical engine or not, how do you clean it? How do you clean your car? You understand me? Many people leave it up to somebody else, outsource it, and sometimes they wonder why those people are more connected to things. You know, they're like, those people are really the cattle sheep slave of the system, but they're more connected to life. We have mechanized the whole experience of life and systemized it and removed ourselves out of it. And because we have removed ourselves out of it, we're not in the picture. Machines do everything. You understand me? ah. So we are becoming obsolete, unnecessary. The very strivings that make us human, we're giving it up. Comforts make us fat, pompous, and entitled. But comforts earned Now that's a true accomplishment. Now that's true destiny. That's true purpose. So I wash my clothes. You know, for the most part, I love to cook my own food. It's just that when you're in country homes, you know, if there is a woman at the home, you know that you're not going to be cooking all the time unless you're on your own. So when I'm by myself, of course I do all my cooking, you know, but when I'm here, you know, I live at home. So, you know, my sister, she's really the woman of the house, you know. When I'm with women, we usually have a place of our own. And I'm usually cowboying it for the most part. I'm usually here at home, you know, my birth home. So my sister really, she's the one that runs this home. So she deals with the cooking. Yeah? And my sister is just ital, natural. And I don't mean ital like no meat. I mean ital in the sense of natural. Yeah, everything she knows is from the environment. So everything stays in a certain manner. Yeah? So her life is wrapped up around what she can do. Right? And what she has done. Yeah? Not just raising children, but how she grew them up, you know, from her own ability. So she don't need to look into a parenting manual to tell her, you know, her into some psychological book. That's how to be a person, right? She don't need to go, you know, every day to seek validation because her life really takes up the responsibility and experience of itself, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. So I'm not just washing for the camera, actually. I'm washing my clothes because they're dirty and they need for wash. So I wash them for real, you understand? So, yeah, this is part of the life reality, you know what I mean? This is real life, you know what I mean? Absolutely real life. So don't be so far from cleaning your own house, yeah? And sometimes you don't have to live in such a huge structure that makes it almost impossible for you to be able to clean it. You have to hire cleaners and all those people, and then you put a psychology behind it. It's beneath you to clean your own place, but is it really beneath you to clean your own place when it's you that's making that mess? But sometimes what is strange is some people are not even present in their own space to make a mess. Yeah? Sometimes it's the winds of time that makes the mess. Yeah? And ruins it because the lack of presence is so obvious, you know? There's no life. So some people are not connected to the very experience which they're living. And I know some mothers are saying, Jerome, I wish I could really wash my clothes, really, because, you know, my time for work and the kids and every kid. But can I tell you something? I've been working with people for years and such thoughts, and I know. When I say to them, of course you can do it. You know, you want to start it as just some form of nostalgic, some form of novelty, like, you know, take a few pieces of your undies or, you know, a few of your delicates, the slip covers or the pillowcases, and put them in a little basin, right? And put the right kind of solvent or whatever soaps you use in it, and start to wash it. Yeah? Start out like that. And I'll tell you something, ladies, right? From what my mother taught me and from what life has taught me, it is actually better if you wash your delicates. It is actually better if you do that. And I know black women will say, Jerome, of course we do. Right? So it's not an insult. It's not a cultural thing, but sometimes it is true. Right? That sometimes people take everything to the laundromat. They take everything and pop everything in the machine. So if you think I'm just tripping up, you can leave some comments below. But I know for a fact a lot of people don't wash their delicates. They don't wash their undies. You see? And the next thing is too, you have a lot of man out there who can't wash nothing. Can't wash the thing when he put on over himself. He can't even wash it out. It even look good if some stuff spilled on it and he needs to run to a meeting in 45 minutes. He doesn't know how to pop it into the base and just wash it out. And don't know how to give it a nice little flash. Dry so you don't wrinkle it. You flash it, you flash it, you flash it, you flash it. And then you put it onto your warm body. And it's even better if you have a jacket on and if your clothes is clean, it won't leave a crease. Or don't put the jacket on if you know it's got some kind of a dirt spot in it. You leave it off and you just go and shoot the breeze inside your car, turn up your heater or whatever. Warm yourself out. You don't have to go to the meeting looking like an idiot and you don't have to go buy a brand new shirt. Responsibility. Someone can't even boil a pot of water to drop a few acacia leaves in it or to drop a few, you know, mint leaves in it to make some tea to ease some kind of gastric problems in the stomach. That's probably just some form of mal circulation or just wind in the stomach. We say gas full you up. Some men don't even know how to do that. Some men are not even versed in something so simple, right? To even make a cup soup. That just needs hot water. You understand me? I'm poor. And wait 5 minutes is done. There's a thing about us as humans where everything is just pop into the microwave, pop into the this, pop into the oven, warm it up, bring it up to temperature, bring it up to that. It's just, no one thinks that they can do the things themselves. Cutting wood, like I said, my sister, she looks wood, firewood just the same, cuts firewood. You understand? Just like anything we can do. We wash our clothes too. So we're not looking around about washing is a woman's job and creating some kind of psychological matrix around, gender-based roles. And I'm not none of them who's trying to erase gender, and I'm not none of them who's talking about gender is political, because obviously gender is biological, astrological, cosmic, and the divine nature of things, right? So I ain't playing no gender role. You understand me? But no better figure say me I playing a political agenderism. You understand me? Or transgenderism. Or transhumanism. Yeah, but man can learn to wash him shirt and him pants them and him underwear them too. And can learn to put on some water on the fire. Yeah? To cook some food. Because what if the woman that you depend upon like a maid gets sick? Or like the wealthy ones, what if your maid do get sick? You live into the hospital, you live into the hospital. But if you live into a restaurant and something go wrong in the restaurant and there's diseases, and sort of food poisoning, that's the hospital right there, right? So you have to check these things before we operate, you know what I mean? For real. We have to check ourselves because we're doing things a bit off kilter. A lot of times we're doing that off kilter thing because we are being programmed, or allowing ourselves rather, because you're not just being, you have to allow, yeah? So we are allowing ourselves to be programmed by a systematic thought, right? That's kind of saying, yeah man, it's taken care of, man. It's a comfortable life, right? And then we are comforted right out of reality, right? Some fabrics are too soft, so you can't really put the brush on them, especially a hard brush. But you can, give the colors, and sometimes the underarm a little, rub, a little brushing to remove, the difficult, dust particles, and sometimes little fruit stains and food stains. I live in the bush, so there's a lot of things. And people might be wondering what kind of soap I'm using. Well, it's actually a local soap, right? And it's called Fresh. And I wouldn't say, if anything, super organic. And so people say, so why don't you look for the super organic? Well, because we don't yet have a culture of super organic. If you want to squeeze some lime or use a particular type of water, we can, because we have mineral water that we use, right, to kind of reduce certain things, lime scale and cut certain scum, right? So that is also something we use as well too. So different techniques, right? So the soap is just basically, local soaps we use for washing. I don't use softeners or anything like that. We don't use that as a general rule in Jamaica. Even the middle class do in their washing machine, and sometimes they got the maids and stuff. Yeah, so this one is really about the washing and the cleansing and the human presence in the experience of your own life. You wear your own clothes, right? So if you wear your own clothes, it goes to show you that you can wash your own clothes. You don't have to pop it into a machine and say, forget about it. And you might be saying, what is the benefit? But one of the benefits is your value of the experience of self. You know it. You know every tear on your clothes. Yeah? You remember every stain and every attempt you made to make it clean. You remember those things. Yeah? Those things value. Those things matter. Right? Yeah, man. Those things really matter in the long run. this is the stage where you call the rinse out the clothes them, you know. Country style. Rinse out, you know. Real way. Right in front of the pipe stand. When we were children, these pipes were galvanized, you know. Pipes, you know, iron pipes. And they take a long time to rot, and yeah, you know, when they usually get a hole, usually one big issue with water, and we have a parochial water system, you know, that is taken care of by the municipality, you know, the local parish government, you know, local parish government. So we are off the city grid, you know, because we are up in the Blue Mountains, and here is where the source of the Hope River, which feeds the greater portion of the Hermitage Dam and the Mona Reservoir. Now those dams and, you know, catchment area for the water, they are the major reservoirs for the water distribution system here in the metropolis, in the city, because we are just about 15-20 minutes, you know, from the first part of the city, from the city limits, you know. So we do things a whole lot more, you know, regal, we say, you know, because we have a life, and this is a life just born in, someone would say, poverty. This is a way of life that we've had for a very long time. My great grandparents came here, this part, you know, bought this land some 70 years ago, and it was really wild wilderness, mango country, and they asked him why he wanted to come to a part like this, and he said, well, he wanted to get out of the city, of the city life, and you know, that violent and just a clash of cultures, you know, how he saw that metropolitan life was affecting society. So he came here with, you know, with his brothers, and some left, you know, and he remained till he died. And so some of the grandkids and the great grandkids, well, we are still here carrying out this life while the family spread out in Jamaica and across the world. So one of the things about us in the mountains, right? And in most of the Jamaican communities, if you're washing outdoors, you tend to be hanging it outdoors, right? And so usually you'd have a clothesline in the yard, right? That you hang the laundry on. And like I say, tradition from way back when people would go to the river and wash, yeah, they would rinse the clothes and hang it same place that they washed it, on the stones. And within like a few hours, within usually like a few hours, the clothes will be washed. I mean, the clothes will be dried. Yeah, and sometimes they just find a little spot on the river also that they will be cooking. And that's the next thing that is something that they do a lot. Yeah? Cooking is a major part sometimes, Yeah man, blessed, safe journeys. Yeah. Cooking is a thing that people tend to do as well. And on the washing day. Lots and lots of cooking on the washing day. Yes, so there you have it. Definitely doing the laundry Jamaican style and setting things, in the self-responsibility. I just realized Joey left this picture. It's a responsibility, to know that you can do something. You can actually, wash your own clothes and, yeah, cook your own food, chop your own firewood. Life, some people like to think, has evolved from this, so they look down on a certain way of life and they say it's poverty, it's this. Yet still, they're doing earth bag, they're doing earth chips, they're doing tiny houses, they're doing cabins, they're doing tree houses. They're trying to get away from the clutter and the lifestyle. So guess what? This has been the longest way humans have lived, right? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. This is the domestication of human life. Yeah? Otex Jamaica Season 3, Jerome Sage Butler, at home. Like, subscribe, share, these little moments, Until next time, blessings.